So at this time, the only difference is you're going to be subtracting. So if you're subtracting, the first thing you have to do is change the signs of everything to the right. Whenever you have a negative in front of the parentheses, you change everything to the right. Don't touch this. So then this was positive, it's negative. This was negative, now it's positive. This was positive, now it's negative. So now that it's plus, it's exactly like it was the page before. Put an imaginary 1. Okay, I'm going to highlight. So I go negative 3x squared minus 1x squared. If I struggle with that, I can pick up my calculator and go negative 3 minus 1, which is negative 4. If I already knew that, then I'm good to go. Okay, then I go to the next one, and it's positive 3x, and this was negative. Now it's positive 3x, which is positive 6x. And the last thing I see is positive 2 and negative 3 is negative 1. So this page is exactly like the previous page. The difference is that you have to change the signs of everything to the right. So let's look at number 25. Change the sign of everything to the right. So I see an x, but I also see an x squared. Remember, x squared has to go first. So 5x squared minus 2x squared is 3x squared. I have 2 x's, and I take away 1x. I'm left with plus x. If I want to put the 1, I can, but I don't really want to. And the last thing I'm going to do is positive 3, and positive 5 is positive 8. Okay. Let's try number 22. Anytime I have a negative in front of my parentheses, change the signs of everything to the right. Now I'm going to do shapes this time just to keep it interesting. I have a negative 3a plus a 3a. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So I'm not going to write the a squared at all. If you wrote a squared like that, that would be counted as 1. You can't do that. So now I'm going to do a box, positive 2, and negative 3 is negative 1a, but I'm just going to put negative a. And I'll do a bubble, negative 1, negative 1 is negative 2. Remember, if you want to go negative 1, then you go minus 1, and that's negative 2. Okay? Done on that one. Let's jump down to number 27. On this one, first thing I have to do, change the signs of everything to the right. Okay? So I have to make sure I put it in order. So I'm going to do shapes again. Negative 4x squared, notice how I include the negative in there. Minus 4x squared. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8x squared. I'll do a box next. Negative 5x minus 1x is negative 6x. And last, I'll do a bubble. 5 minus 1 is positive 4. Remember, on this page, if you don't show your work, you're not going to get full credit. Okay. Now let's jump down to number 33. In number 33, I have 2 sets of negatives. So what I'm going to have to do first is change the signs of everything to the right. But then I see it's happening over here too, so I have to change the signs of everything to the right. Staying organized is really key to this. I'm going to go through, put imaginary 1s, imaginary 1s. Do you have to put an imaginary 1? Of course you don't have to. But the more work you show, the easier it is to get the right answer. So I have 3n squared, take away, subtract. 5n squared is negative 2n squared. Next, I'm going to go to the n's. I have negative 1 plus 5 is 4. And then I change that to a plus. So 4 plus 1 is 5. So plus 5n. And then lastly, I have negative 4 minus 6 is negative 10. Minus 2 is negative 12. Okay. All right, so something I want to point out too, and I probably should have pointed it out last time. If you look here, here's the answers to all of the adding and subtracting. So if you look, so something I want to point out, I think I started doing that, is this is 1 through 40. And so if you look, here's 1 through 20, and then 21 through 40. So all you have to do is look at the answers and make sure they're the same, which is another reason you can't not show work, because all I have to do is look at the answer over here and then copy it. Look at the answer and copy it. You can't do that. Make sure you're showing work. Okay. So So let's go look at number 38. We'll try one more, and then I'll let you guys do your homework. Now remember, show your work. So let's do number 38. Anytime you have subtraction, change the signs of everything to the right. I have another set of subtraction. Change the signs of everything to the right. Now I'm going to start doing some shapes. I've got to really stay organized. This one seems pretty messy here. So I know I have to start with cubed because cubed is higher than squared, which is to the third power. So I have positive 5 minus 3 is 2, plus another 2 makes 4b squared, cubed. So we want to be careful on that. So now that's done. Now I'll go to the squared. So we have negative 4b squared. And then if I look, I don't actually have any other b squared, so it's done. I'll go blue next. Focus on my b's. So I have a positive 4b, and it doesn't look like I have anything else. And then lastly, I have an 8, and I add another 8, and that's 16. Okay. The nice thing about highlighting too is that oops, see, I quickly saw that I forgot something. There was a minus 2. So let's try this again. 8 plus 8 is 16, minus 2 is 14. This is the nice thing about showing your work, because that's a perfect example of where you can make silly mistakes. So your second assignment is to do this page. It's worth 4 points. One more time. All the answers are here. So if you just show me the answers, you will not get full credit.